great day in the city of St. Paul. It's an honor to serve as your police chief and follow some great chiefs that we have in the room tonight. Today, I should say, Chief Smith, Chief Harrington, thank you for being here. Thank you for your service, decades of service to the city of St. Paul. Let's give those two chiefs a round of applause. I also want to just really quickly tell each and every one of you in the room today how much I appreciate your service to the city of St. Paul, sworn and civilian, the women and men of the St. Paul Police Department, our partners. I simply couldn't be more proud of the work that you do day in and day out, incredibly difficult situations, sometimes unwinnable situations that we're faced with. And out of the 280,000 calls for service that each and every one of you respond to each and every year, we get it right. A vast, vast, vast majority of the time. And for that, as a resident of this person, as a human being who happens to live in the city of St. Paul, thank you and thank your families for all of your support. Let's give our public servants a round of applause. So in the past, I always enjoyed this event because I got to sit out with you and watch previous chiefs, starting with Chief McCutcheon, then Chief Finney, then Chief Harrington, and Chief Smith, come up and award the nominees and the winners of the awards, the medals they'll receive today. And I took it for granted back then because I didn't really realize how difficult the decision would be to select the best of the best. First of all, you have to be the best of the best to even be nominated for this award. But then the incredibly gut-wrenching decision that you have to make to select a winner is difficult. But as difficult as it is, I'm honored to make that decision. All of our nominees are exceptional public servants, and all of them could have been chosen. This speaks to the quality of the people who make the department the best, I believe firmly the best in the country. We're blessed to have so many great cops, investigators, and civilian employees here today. I'm excited to introduce all of the nominees and present the awards. So let's get started. But first, we're going to have 10 achievement awards. The tradition in our department is to acknowledge some of the great work that goes on out there. So I'm going to ask you to hold your applause, if you would, until I list all 10, and then we'll give them all a round of applause together. So will the following individuals please stand when your name is called and remain standing. Top takers for 2017, who's not here today, but PEO Oscar Aguirre, who wrote 12,521 citations for parking. You can imagine that's a hard-working young man right there. Traffic and Accident Officer Steve Parsons, a classmate of mine, is not here today, but he wrote 3,427 citations, and many of those citations are for distracted driving, which is one of our top priorities in the city of St. Paul this year. So it's not just people going 40 and 30. These are serious violations that keep us all safe. Central District Officer Ben Buchan, 301 citations. If you're here, please stand up. Ben? Ben here? Okay, sorry, I'm not paying attention. Eastern District Officer Adrian Saffold, 1,127 citations. Western District Officer Santiago Rodriguez, are you here? Santiago is not here, but Santiago wrote 629 citations. Citywide Services Officer Zhang Yang, please stand, 279 citations. Now this is on top of their normal duties. The top DUI arrests in the city of St. Paul for the department in 2017, we have a tie between Brian Avent and Alexander Graham. Would you please both stand? Top Gun 2017, Officer Corey Zimprich. Top SWAT Gun 2017, Officer Lance Christensen, who was not be able to attend today. But it's my great honor to award you all 10 with Achievement Awards for 2017. Let's give them a round of applause. So without further ado, we're going to get into the finalists for 2017 Civilian of the Year. And our first finalist is Alexandria Alley Cole. Allie has been with the department since the year 2000 in our records unit. Allie is nominated for her exemplary performance in the property crimes unit. As administrative support, Allie is involved in many, many projects within our department. Last year, the LPR license plate reader project, the policy was out of date, archaic, and it was determined it was necessary to monitor the system and perform an audit so that we could be sure we were in compliance with state laws and the high standards of the St. Paul Police Department. Allie has worked with a consulting company for 6 months to help draft this new policy and also train the investigators that she works with. Also, she improved the tracking of auto theft grant expenses and equipment. Allie worked with others to determine where the remaining funds could be used before the grant had expired. She attended meetings to ensure the grant was being properly administered and managed. She also assisted the homicide unit when needed, which was many times. During one of the investigations, an elderly woman was severely beaten by some transients that came into town, and they spoke a different language that was something that Allie took it upon herself when she listened to jail tapes to try to figure out how they were speaking, and she learned the language, and it wasn't a formal language, but she figured it out and helped hold perpetrators and bring them to justice. She's invested in helping the department in many other areas and citizens of St. Paul. She's a valued member of our department, and her work is deeply appreciated by each and every one of us in this room. Our second finalist is Lori Wollstonecraft. Lori started with the department in 1984 in the records unit. She presently is working as administrative support for the Deputy Chief's office. Lori is nominated today for her exceptional work and her exceptional work ethic and dedication for our department, not only in 2017, but for the last 3 decades of her service, over 3 decades of service. Working closely with the administrative team, she expertly manages the flow of information and maintains the deputy chief's tight and exhaustive schedules that they have. She can always be counted on to maintain the integrity of sensitive information that we all are faced with. She has many interactions with internal and external customers. She's always cheerful, positive, and many of the department rely on Lori's diligence and competence to complete these projects. Lori's duties can be quite complex and detailed. The task of tracking the balances of over 600 women and men of our department and their uniform allowances can be daunting. In addition, Lori is the on-site travel planner for the entire department. Anytime an officer goes out of the state, she coordinates airfare travel, hotel arrangements, and that also is a complicated and daunting task. Community outreach has always been a priority to Lori, and she truly enjoys this priority. From delivering gifts to children for cops with kids, while dressed as an elf, she makes one heck of an elf, I'll tell you that. To wrapping holiday presents at Shop with Cops, Lori brings her gift of good cheer to our community. She is a source of great pride to our department, and she truly exemplifies what it means to provide trusted service with respect. And the difficult decision, but I'm so happy for the winner. Winning the 2017 Civilian Employee of the Year Award is Lori Wollstonecraft.
I didn't learn a new language. I can barely master English. Chief, thank you. This really means a lot. I'm honored by the nomination and the letters of support by Paul Iandino, Tina McNamara, and Kevin Casper. Please pass along my thanks to your creative writing teachers. You made doing my job sound like something really special. Fact is, when you work with wonderful people, you want to do as much as you can to make their jobs easier, and I'm lucky to be in that situation. My police family means the world to me. I also have the good fortune of having an excellent support system. A small group of peers called the Dream Team, right there. They're always available to bounce ideas around. My sister's here when I need her, and of course my kids and my adorable husband. The best advice I ever got was from my favorite mentor, my mom, who proudly served this department for 27 years. She said, how you feel about your job is a choice. If you decide to love your job, not only will your days go better, but your whole life will be more enjoyable. So while you're working hard, have a little fun. Don't take yourself too seriously. Find blessings in every day and pray for the safety of all of our cops. Thank you.
Allie Cole, will you please stop up and receive the award for honorable mention? Give her a hand. Next up, we have the two finalists for the Detective of the Year 2017. Our first finalist is Sergeant Jennifer O'Donnell. Jennifer was first hired as a parking enforcement officer in 1994. She became a police officer in 1995 and has been assigned to the Criminal Proceeds Unit since 2013. Sergeant O'Donnell is nominated for her exemplary work in establishing the Criminal Proceeds Unit and her commitment to its success. CPU was created in 2013 to investigate felony-level crimes where money laundering or concealing criminal proceeds is suspected. The cash and the property value of assets seized by CPU has increased from $488,000 in 2014 to over $3 million in 2017. In 2017, Jennifer investigated a case where an employee of the Town and Country Club was suspected of embezzling money, and she spent many long hours analyzing bank records, invoices, emails, and search warrant evidence. This work was tedious, but Jennifer uncovered incriminating evidence that showed the losses of over $1 million. Charges were filed against the employee for wire fraud and filing false tax returns. Some assets were located and thankfully will be returned to the club. Another case in 2017 involved a marijuana distribution network in St. Paul. The case is ongoing, but nearly 500 pounds of marijuana and $140,000 in cash has been seized under Sergeant O'Donnell's leadership. Jennifer's strong work ethic and dedication have brought the Criminal Proceeds Unit to a new level, and her performance is respected and appreciated by all. Our second finalist is Sergeant Nicole Spears. Nicole started as a police officer with the department in 2002. She has been assigned to the Family and Sexual Violence Unit since 2016. Sergeant Spears is nominated for her outstanding investigative and engagement skills. Often, victims of family violence are not willing to talk out of fear, making it difficult to press charges. Nicole communicates so incredibly well and displays compassion. This support gives victims the strength and the empowerment to move forward in their difficult situations. There were more than 300 cases that were labeled gone as a rival. For those of you who may not understand this, in the domestic violence world, in the past, gone on arrival cases means the perpetrator, most of the time, would be the husband, statistically, would assault the wife or the girlfriend or whoever they're with, and they would leave before police would arrive. And in the past, these cases weren't dealt with to the level that they should have been. And it was a resource issue, and it was a focus issue. But she charged suspects on so many of those cases. She went forward and she did the extra work to go to the extra mile to support our victims. One example is in 2017 when she followed up on a disturbance call between a husband and a wife. The wife had left the scene and did not want to press charges, and the husband simply wouldn't talk. Nicole could have easily closed the case, but instead she chose to connect with the victim and build a rapport, and eventually obtain evidence that charges could be filed against the husband for domestic assault. It is likely that if Nicole had not made contact, the abuse would have continued to occur even today. As the unit's executive officer, Nicole works closely with attorneys and advocates alike. I routinely hear from our victim service advocates here today about the great work that she does each and every day. She has amazing and she's an amazing and compassionate person who truly cares. She has practiced as a practice presenter, and a trainer throughout the entire area. Her knowledge and investment of these horrific cases inspires all of us to do more for our victims. Lastly, Nicole is admired by her peers for her willingness to share information and serve as a natural leader to each and every one of them. It's my great honor to present the 2017 Detective of the Year to Sergeant Nicole Spears.
Thank you, Chief. I wrote a couple of notes, but as most of you know, I'm not much for public speaking, so I promise to keep it short. In fact, it was so much easier when I had a canine standing next to me because everyone would stare at the dog and people would forget about me. It was perfect. But thank you, Chief. I really appreciate being recognized. It's an honor to even stand with the other nominees. Thank you to those who nominated me and wrote letters of support. Commander Falkowski, Commander Murphy, Sergeant Jim Nash, Sergeant Jason Gimpolo, Officer Erica O'Halloran, from St. Paul Intervention, Shelley Klein and Bree Adamsville, and from St. Paul City Attorney's Office, Tara Patet. The letters that you wrote meant so much to me, as much as if not more than the award itself. I was very humbled as I read the letters, and I appreciate you taking the time. Thank you to all of my coworkers in FSVU. We have a fantastic group of investigators and officers, and a wonderful administrative assistant. And I feel like this award is really reflective of the dedication and teamwork that I see across our entire unit on a daily basis. So thank you for making it fun to come to work and being such hard workers and fun employees to be around. Finally, thank you to my husband, Chuck, for being here to support me and for helping to bring a balance to this work. Thank you, Chuck.
And Sergeant Jennifer McDonald, will please stop up and receive your award for your exceptional service in 2017. Now for the main event. finalists for Officer of the Year 2017. I often talk about, as others have in the past, the most important position in the St. Paul Police Department is the position of a patrol officer. And then the most important rank is the rank of sergeant. A lot is at stake at the front line, if you will, the boots on the ground, the people that serve the public. And so this award really touches me personally each year when I get to, now my second year being able to do this, to award the Officer of the Year. Again, I just couldn't be more proud to be standing here to do this. The first finalist is Officer Lou Ferrara. Lou joined the department in 2002. He's been assigned to the Eastern District since 2011. Lou was nominated in recognition of the overall professionalism, integrity, leadership, engagement, and innovation he displays as a police officer day in and day out. As our profession has evolved over the years, Lou has embraced many of the changes while still honoring the difficult job of the past and the current and the future. There's now a mindset in police officers who serve in St. Paul as guardians of our community. Let me just touch on this briefly. Out of the 280,000 calls for service we have each and every year, 0.2% of all of those calls result in a level of use of force. It's a very small part of the job. And there are people more and more, there's a shift in the way we view this profession. In the past, we viewed it many times as being a warrior. And to be a warrior, if you believe that you are a warrior, one has to be at war in their mind, in my humble opinion. Knowing that 0.2% of the time that we have to use force. So Lou, trust me, Lou can handle his own. And if it comes time that he's got to be a warrior, that 0.2%, trust me, he'll be able to do that. But Lou has also understood and embraced the concept of what it is to be a guardian. Because 99.98% of the time, our jobs consist of being a guardian to everyone we serve. I have to apologize, I got off my script there a little bit, but it means a lot. It really does. We got to acknowledge that. Lou has led young officers to adopt this way of thinking. Even more, Lou views the natural evolution and progress forward and not as retreat. Lou has developed a program for new recruits assigned to the Eastern District, which highlights the importance of doing the job the St. Paul way. It helps new officers acclimate to their new setting and to be successful in their next training phases as he passes on recruits to the next phases. Statistically, Lou's numbers for calls for service, community outreach, and investigations in 2017 were absolutely extraordinary. Lou chooses to do the work in the busiest shift in the busiest area of the city, and he has a positive impact on his entire community, and he has consistently sustained an exceptional performance level. Lou is a mentor to his peers, an ambassador for our department, and a respected emissary for all of us. And I want to tell you, Lou, I look up to you as your chief. Doesn't matter what you wear on your shoulders, you can be respected regardless of your rank. The second finalist is Officer Trigby Sand. Trig was hired in 1999. He's been assigned to the Eastern District since 2015. Trigby was nominated for his exceptional performance as a patrol officer. Often, when someone leaves a specialty unit and goes back to the street, it's a difficult transition. However, he took the knowledge and expertise that he had gained during those special assignments in his years in narcotics and applied it to the everyday patrol work that he was about to embark upon. Trig is hardworking, he's dedicated, and he's impacted many high-level investigations while on patrol. Statistically, Trig's arrest, traffic stops, and officer-generated investigations are high above the average of his peers. Many of those peers with much less time on the job. And he goes out there and outworks them. Trig is respected and admired by all ranks, including myself. and has received accolades for his exceptional work. This includes helping investigators find a suspect who had robbed and assaulted a disabled person, and writing a clear, detailed report, which every investigator and prosecutor in the room understands is required to getting a conviction. And it contributed to the arrest of a career criminal. From the most dangerous and motivated drug dealer to a person in crisis, Trig is fair, empathetic, and professional to all he comes in contact with. A felony assault suspect sent Trig an email thanking him, which the deputy mayor mentioned earlier, for his sincerity and compassion while arresting her. Really the highest compliment a police officer can get. Having to do a tough job of bringing somebody into custody and having them thank them for how they did the job the St. Paul way. His consistent commitment and extraordinary performance to serve citizens of St. Paul is deeply, deeply appreciated. And winning the 2017 Officer of the Year Award is Officer Lou Ferraro.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Chief Axtell. I am truly honored and extremely grateful to receive this distinguished recognition of Police Officer of the Year. I would also like to recognize Officer Trig Sand for his outstanding leadership and hard work. I absolutely love being a St. Paul police officer, and for the past 16 years, it has been the most amazing career. Our success as a police department is largely measured by our service to others and our service to the community. For me, it is not only the service to the city of St. Paul, but more specifically to the East Side. One characteristic has defined the East Side throughout its history, and that is the East Side has always been a place for newcomers to call home. Even when change erases the East Side's older buildings, streets, or businesses, the families of all different cultures within this community continues to live on in the hearts of those who believe in it. And we, as officers, believe in the East Side. As part of the national conversation surrounding law enforcement, the President's Task Force on 21st Century Policing recommends law enforcement should embrace a guardian mindset in order to build trust and legitimacy with the public. The officers who work the Eastern District have always considered themselves the guardians of the East Side. We are the guardians and protectors of the people within the community, all people, and their rights, treating each and every person we encounter with respect and dignity. We protect those who cannot protect themselves. We provide help to those in need. We serve our local community motivated by working for an outcome greater than ourselves. That means developing and creating partnerships with members of the community that will promote problem-solving techniques to proactively address the immediate conditions that give rise to public safety issues such as crime, social disorder, and the fear of crime. These are the elements I have focused on in my career. St. Paul police officers will continue to perform and fulfill each of their roles with pride, professionalism, respect, and courage. You can't be a successful police chief without trusted service with respect. You can't be a national championship winning football coach without an incredibly talented football team. And you can't be nominated for Officer of the Year without a group of officers who share a common spirit of inspiring enthusiasm, devotion, and a strong regard of working together for the honor of the group. The East Side crew works together at a high level of morale in a cooperative and coordinated effort to accomplish the goals and interests of community policing. I would like to thank the Eastern District Command Staff, the 2 or 3 sergeants, for nominating me for this honorable recognition. I would like to recognize Senior Commander Axtell, who has fostered and supported our guardian mentality and has helped create an incredible level of communication by asking what we need and by listening to what we say. Sergeants Salim Omari, Dave McCabe, Jeff Schwab, and Pat Murphy for their decisive leadership and guiding force in fostering and supporting our teamwork. My wife Kelly, for supporting my passion of being a St. Paul police officer. She is a huge supporter of the police department and loves living in the city of St. Paul. Kelly's father was a sergeant major in the United States Marine Corps. Perfect. And now her husband is a St. Paul police officer. She gets it and knows what it's all about. My mother and father for instilling in me an incredible work ethic, teaching me to respect others and supporting me in accomplishing my goals. My uncle Don Hayes for mentoring and guiding me with his incredible wisdom, knowledge, and experience of 37 years as a St. Paul police officer. John Sherwood, a true veteran of this department and the East Side, who has the passion, work ethic, and enthusiasm still today as he did as a rookie 32 years ago. The officer I work with every night on the East Side, my partner Justin Rangel. He is a true friend and a great partner. Whenever we are asked to go to a community meeting, Justin always says yes, as long as Lou will do all the talking. And anyone who knows me, I certainly don't have a problem with that. So, I would like to end with Plato's vision of a perfect society. In a republic that honors the core of democracy, the greatest amount of power is given to those called the guardians. Only the guardians with their character are chosen to bear the responsibility of protecting the democracy. Thank you very much.
Now for runner-up 2017 Officer of the Year, Officer Tracy Sam. Will you stop up, please? Closing, I'd like to let you all know it's been an honor to be able to recognize all of our nominees this year who set records. Our producers, the people out there serving the public, congratulations to you all. Our department is made up of exceptional people. I want to thank each and every one of you for your hard work. I also want to thank you for taking the time out of your busy days and your busy schedules to be here and support all of our guardians in St. Paul. A lot of hard work, a lot of it goes into this program each and every year. I want to especially thank Angela Anderson, Kate Fleming, Don Cager for all their special efforts. Let's give them a round of applause. And lastly, I'd like to thank Mayor Melvin Carter, who was not able to be here today, and also Deputy Mayor Jamie Tincher for your comments, your leadership. Few 3-4 months now running the city of St. Paul, and we're very happy to have you in the city, and we're looking forward to many years working with you moving forward. So before I turn the program back over to Senior Commander Julie Maven, I'd like to thank you for being our MC today. Let's give her a round of applause. Thank you all for coming. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Chief Axtell.